Howdy, Scott in Colorado here. I have had some people ask me, hey, what kind of gun should I buy? Well, that's a really multifaceted question. First, you need to ask yourself, what do you want a gun for? You're saying you want it for self-protection, okay. Do you want a shotgun? Do you want a rifle? Do you want a handgun? Is this your first gun? If this is your very first gun and you're talking about protecting yourself and your family, you need to have that gun with you all the time. So that pretty much rules out the shotgun. So you're not going to pack a shotgun around with you. You're not Doc Holliday. We're talking about real life here, not pretend Hollywood stuff. Okay, you need something concealable, all right? So it's going to be small. So that rules out a rifle. For home defense, yes, a rifle is preferable, or a shotgun. I prefer a rifle, so that's my preference. A lot of people prefer shotguns. I prefer a rifle. A bazooka for home defense would be ideal. I want to shoot the guy once. Okay, it's not very practical. If you want to defend yourself, you need to have a firearm with you at all times and concealable. So you need to go get your concealed carry permit. All right, so we're talking about handguns now. All right, so what is the first handgun I should buy? You have an option. You have an autoloader, which is a semi-automatic weapon. This is an example. This is a Glock 17. It's full-sized. Autoloader, it is empty. There's nothing in there. Whoa! All right, nothing in the chamber. All right. This has a light on it. If you have a firearm by your bedstand or near where you sleep, you need to have a light on it. All right. You need to identify what you're going to shoot. This is what I keep by my nightstand. All right. Glock 17. This isn't very concealable. What I prefer, this is unloaded. All right. This is a Sig Sauer 9mm. This is a Sig Sauer P938. All right. It's just as powerful. They both have the same knockdown power. One's much smaller than the other, and much more concealable. You need to talk about calibers. What caliber of firearm do you want to carry? You have an option anywhere from a 17 caliber, 22 caliber, 32 caliber, 380 caliber, which is a miniature 9mm. You have a 40 Smith & Wesson, which is in between a 9mm. It's a 40 is 10 millimeters. 40 Smith & Wesson. You have I'll jump up to 40. I said 40 Smith & Wesson. You have 45. You have 50 caliber, which is extreme. Unless you've been in the military and you really prefer a 45, yeah, you've got 7 rounds. 7 rounds to knock down your target. What if there's multiple targets? Well, you carry a spare magazine. What if there's 3 or 4 attackers? How many magazines are you going to carry? That's fine if you like 45s, great. If you got the training, you can handle the recoil. 45s kick. Most people, the FBI went to a 9mm. They were using a 40 Smith & Wesson for a time and found that a lot of people can't handle the recoil on a 40 Smith & Wesson. There were officers on our departments that couldn't handle a 40 Smith & Wesson. There was officers that had served in Vietnam. They were shooting 45. That's what they preferred. That's what they were comfortable with. They had a lot of training with them. Hey, great, stick with it. If you're comfortable with a 45, great. But we're not measuring penis sizes here, all right? You don't need a big honking caliber. Modern ammunition, I'm talking about 9mm and up, I really disqualify a 380 or a 32 auto. 32 auto, forget it, you're crazy if you're going to carry it. 380, really, okay, I was going to say modern ammunition is so much more effective at stopping human beings soon. You don't want to have to dump a whole bunch of rounds, 5-6 rounds into a person, all right, before they stop. But if you shoot 5 times, you might hit them twice or once. New York cops, you might shoot 12, 15 times. Shoot them twice and hit the target twice. People in bad situations, New York police officers don't always have the greatest training and most training. They only have so much money in their funds. But the point is, when you're scared, it's really hard to hit that target. That's why you shoot to stop. You don't shoot them in the leg. You're lucky if you can just hit them center mass. That's why you aim for center mass, right? I'm bouncing around. We can talk about these details later. You need to choose a firearm. A 22, yeah, a 22 is deadly. A 17 caliber is deadly. A 32 auto's deadly. A staple gun can be deadly, but it may not stop the person right away, and you need to stop their action. You need to fire until that person is no longer a threat to you. All right? You don't shoot them dead. Police officers don't shoot to kill. That's James Bond. That's Hollywood crap. All right? In the military, you shoot to stop. All right? Actually, it's more effective to maim people and hurt people and injure people, because it takes 2 or 3 people to take care of that one injured person, as compared to if the person's dead. You don't have to worry about them anymore. All right? So in the military, that's why they use a 5.56 caliber, which is an amped up 22 caliber. It's a 22, it's 2.223 caliber. They can carry lots of ammo with that. An AR-15 shoots a .223 or 5.56, .223 caliber or 5.56 millimeter cartridge. 5.56 by 45. Here's the actual dimensions. Anyways, you're probably, I would steer you towards a 9 millimeter. Whether you're big or small, my wife can get this in her hand. How big are your hands? Are you big? Are you lurch? Are you 7 foot tall? Right? No, have no trouble handling, or have big hands handling a large firearm. A Glock 17 is a large firearm. It's a large capacity. You have to ask yourself, what am I going to use it for? You're going to use this for self-defense. Okay, you're going to carry it with you all the time. That means it has to be concealed. Okay, find a firearm that fits your hand. It feels good in your hand. If you're a 100-pound petite woman, all right, you cannot get your hand around these high-capacity double-stack magazines. All right, this isn't really high capacity. That's a term that the liberal media came up with. All right, anti-gun people. This is the normal capacity for this magazine. It carries 17 rounds. It has nothing to do with it being called a Glock 17. It's just blocking on the 17. All right. The normal capacity for this is 17 rounds. All right. Normal capacity for this is 6 to 7 rounds in the magazine. All right. But it doesn't do you any good if you buy yourself a big honking gun like this, right? If you can't get your hand around it. My impression when the first Glocks came out, and this is a third or fourth generation lower, with a first generation, that's all there was. Upper, I had to replace the lower because it was worn out. When I first put this in my hand, it was more blocky than this lower is now. But it felt like I was holding a 2x4. This is less blocky now. It's more rounded. But I've got big hands. I've got a size 13 shoe. I got big hands. I'm 6 foot. This is great. This is what I would prefer to have. But and this is what is in my nightstand if I don't have my rifle. Right? If I need to clear the house, I want to clear it with a rifle, not a handgun. But I can't always get in the safe that quick, right? Well, this is always available as well. This is always, I always have this with me. It's always on my hip, unless I'm in bed. The point is, you need to find a firearm that fits your hand. Go down to the gun store, handle as many firearms as you can, as much time as you have available to you. All right. Don't buy a cheapo, the cheapest firearm. A lot of times they won't feed the ammunition that you buy. It's persnickety. It only likes certain temperatures. It only likes certain ammunition. You want to be able to, and sometimes that ammunition isn't available. You can't buy it. So you've got to buy a firearm that will eat anything. A Glock will eat anything, any day, any time, any temperature. Okay? A Sig Sauer would generally eat anything, anytime, any temperature. Okay, it's not persnickety. All right. Very, 6 hours are expensive. You get what you pay for. I have Trijicon sights on mine. They glow in the dark. You never have to shine a light on them or anything else. But anyways, go to a gun store and handle as many firearms as you can. And then, before you buy one, listen to them, but have a grain of salt, a bucket of salt with you. Every person in the gun store has their favorite, and they will preach one caliber or one specific gun over another. For whatever reason, I have my own preferences. There's lots of good guns out there, lots of quality firearms out there. Do your research. The next step is don't buy one yet. Go to a gun club, or a gun range, okay, is what I mean. Go to a gun range where they rent firearms and tell them, look, you want to shoot several different firearms. Ask what they recommend for personal defense and for concealment. And then shoot them, all right? Shoot several different kinds, different calibers, if you settle on a 9mm, great. Then shoot 5, 6, 7 different brands and different models. So you'll learn what feels good in your hand. And then once you find one, talk to more people. Do research on the internet. Lots of information. Lots of YouTube videos. Lots of reviews. Then make up your mind. Find out the negatives, the positive things about that firearm, and settle on one. And go ahead and make your purchase then. But do it informed. Don't make your purchase over and over and over. I would definitely don't recommend a revolver. They're big and fat. They don't sit on your waist as well. They only have 6 rounds. They're slow to reload. You really want, when semi-autos came out, I started calling them revolvers, wagon wheel guns, because they're old technology. Right? Nothing wrong with a revolver. It's just you really don't want to be in a gunfight with a revolver. You don't have enough rounds. You have multiple tackers. It's just not good. All right, need to update. Okay, get with the program. This is the year 2000 plus. All right, it's 2017 now. Get yourself an autoloader. It's much faster. I can slap a magazine in here. I've got 6 to 7 more rounds. Okay, rather than fiddling with a revolver. All right, that's my take on what you could do. Save yourself some money. Do it. Don't say, oh, I gotta go buy a gun and just buy anything. Save your money. Buy a good brand. It's reliable. It will cost you more money. It'll cost you much less money in the long run if you purchase that firearm once, instead of having to replace it and sell whatever you got and just losing out. You're not going to sell your firearm used anywhere near what you bought it new for. It just doesn't happen unless it's years down the road. Politicians pass laws to make it more difficult for you to purchase a firearm, and then the prices go up. Stay safe, guys. If you have questions, please ask. Please comment. If you like, subscribe. Click the little bell icon so you know when I have a new video coming out. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.